Hey, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy Dave B. Watching Dave B on TV, where we go beyond that everyday bullshit that people be consuming on a day-to-day basis. And I just want to talk about some real shit real quick. Look, you can do whatever you want to do in this world for real. Like real shit. I be talking a lot, and I try my best not to sound like a like how some people would just say a bunch of positive stuff just for the sake of it, to make you feel good, but not really be real with you about like life. Like when it comes to life and shit like that, like you gotta realize that you the one who makes this shit move. And I feel like a lot of times in life, like everything in the magic square, right? Everything to do with society, everything to do with just the everyday struggles and complications of trying to maintain yourself within reality. A lot of these things, 9 times out of 10, are positioned in a way to make you feel absolutely powerless. Powerless, and as if you don't have the ability or capabilities to just do normal shit, like enjoy life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't have to be so complicated and frustrating just to enjoy your life. You know what I'm saying? And that, unfortunately, that's just the way things appear to be in society. You know what I'm saying? So society will have you walking around thinking you really incapable of some shit. But like I'm gonna say this once and for all. Like, look, you the one who make this shit shake. And we have the power to do things that don't even, like, I mean, there's so many things that I've been able to do in my life, right? And I ain't done yet. You know what I'm saying? But there's so many things I've been able to do in the face of others who would doubt and who would laugh at certain ideas or just anything that you know what I'm saying? Because you got to understand that the ideas you generate, they are important. And when we talk about wealth and actually being wealthy and shit like that, yeah, we can talk about material gain. We can talk about how big your house is, how nice your car is, but it's really about the extent of your imagination and your ability to have conviction within that. Because a lot of us have beautiful imaginations, right? And so that's wealth, and that's partly wealth. But the other part of the wealth is how strongly do you believe the possibility of that becoming true? How strong is your conviction in what it is that you are imagining? Because that is also wealth. And it's kind of like just how you see people with great talent, but if they don't have the mind or the concentration or the discipline to actually go for it and maintain it and create something out of nothing, then there's no point of having it in the first place. And a lot of us, unfortunately, either one or the other, give up on ourselves to the point where we don't explore our imagination enough, or we have these vast imaginations and we believe them, but we don't actually put it into action and put it into work. And maybe I'm just talking like this because it's Aries season, but I'm glad I'm talking like this because I've gotten the opportunity to really mix and mingle with some really dope people. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Soul Group and shit like that. Like, there's some really dope individuals within this collective, whatever you want to call it. I hate putting labels on it, but whatever you want to call it, it's just spirit. I've met some really dope spirits, some spirits and bodies that really understand their power. And see, it's a beautiful thing now because, see, everybody is doing some Avenger shit where now you see different pairings. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like how, you go on Disney Plus, you got Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right? That's like a combo. You got Wanda and Vision and shit like that, right? Right now, it's like I see different people, different individuals linking up together on some random shit where it's like, oh shit, I never thought that collaboration, like I've been looking for that collaboration, but I didn't think they was actually gonna talk and do it. You know what I'm saying? It's just beautiful to see everybody actually tapping in and at that being their individual selves, but so strong in their individual self that they can actually collaborate. Like it's like this. I firmly believe that a collaboration is only as strong as the people are on their own. So like if you got two individuals, right? The collaboration is only going to be strong or prominent or like mean something if both people are bringing their own individual selves to the table to create something that's purely new. See, that like really determines the nature of, or the quality of, a collaboration. If you have a collaboration with two people, but one of the people is not actually being their full self, and instead just either copying something that they seen from someone else, or copying the person that they collabing with, that collaboration 9 times out of 10 is going to fall short, just because it's not true. It's not to its fullest potential. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can still be successful, but it's not to its fullest potential. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, getting back to the point, like, yo, we are so powerful. And I ain't even gonna talk about what I hate, but what I love to see, right? Because I'm trying to change how I'm seeing life in general. What I love to see is that, you know, we all going through crazy shit in our personal life, but we all making time to get out there and just do it and making something out of nothing. Like, really, like, understand that, like, you don't have to be confined to whatever the fuck restrictions you think exist. In fact, any restriction that you encounter is truly the universe helping you out, the universe pointing at something that needs to be resolved or tended to, right? Whenever restrictions pop up, a lot of times, like, I feel like Saturn, because you know what they say, like, Saturn used to be the sun or something like that. Like, Saturn used to be not it used to be the sun, but Saturn is one of these older planets that came before the sun. You know what I'm saying? So it's like Saturn holds a lot of energy and knowledge that the sun is still trying to become privy to, right? And like, to take that analogy further, it's kind of like you have a parent, right? You say whatever parent you have has there's a grandparent behind there, right? And so the parent, and like because there's always an age where the grandparent becomes the child again, right? Where the circle of life starts to bend in on itself, and then now, you know what I'm saying, now this is the you know what I'm saying, this is like your parents taking care of their parents, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's when life starts to bend in on itself and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about before that, when the grandparents still had, and not to say that, you know, they're not to suggest that you know, you don't need to keep on learning from your elders and things of that nature, because like, when it comes to that, I do firmly believe that, you know, we can learn something from everybody. Don't mean you should all the time. You know, you got to use your own discernment. But, you know, life has taught me to be patient with people and to allow people to just tell their story without me trying to add anything extra to it. Because a lot of times people don't listen. People let people talk. Like, it's like a lot of times I notice, like, people don't let people talk or let people to be themselves. Instead, a lot of people project themselves on the other people, and so when people come to them and say they can say anything, you know what I'm saying? But like, I always make sure I leave space with me and the individual to allow them to be whoever they are, and I try my best to not give off vibrations of judgment, because the second you give off those vibrations, right, some spirits will start to close up. And that's when they stop being themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, you know, the truth is, we all have some insecurity. We all have some insecurity that we're working to be more comfortable with. A piece of us that we know is authentic to a piece of us that we choose not to show because we don't know how. You know what I'm saying? We're still learning how. Like, we all learning how to be better creators. And what do we create? We create our own life. You know, you create your own story throughout it. So we all learning how to create our energy signature better. You know what I'm saying? Like, because, you know, that gets deep. You know what I'm saying? That gets deep when I'm talking like that, about how we're all tracing the shape, and we do the same. This is why we go through the same cycles. You know what I'm saying? Different situations, different people, different elements, but ultimately we all have certain key themes that occur in our life that we see time and time again, and that we constantly have to address. And even though like it's like every time you go through it, you either get better and learn something for the next time, or you keep on repeating yourself. You know what I'm saying? And this whole your whole lifetime is a matter of unwinding and getting things straight into a shape that you are actually comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? This is like the nature of our lives and things of that nature. This is like what our lives become over time. You know what I'm saying? But within that, I forgot what I was saying at the first point, but my whole point is just to say, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, another thing, I feel like people don't take their life as serious. I'm not saying you got to be serious about everything all the time, but I'm saying you should take your life serious and take the situations and circumstances and people and places and things that pop up in your life and occur in your life. Like, really consider these things and really ask yourself, do you need to keep these things around? Is it time to let go of this shit? Do you really want to do something different? Are you sad? Do you like how these people talk to you? Do these people even understand what you're saying? And going back to like dreams and imaginations and things of that nature, you got to understand your environment affects your think about it like this. The third house is like your surroundings, right? It's also the Gemini. What is Gemini? Gemini is like Mercury energy. This is how we think and communicate, right? But these are like thinking and communicating at the very basic level, right? So this becomes, and so essentially the third house builds how we go about coming together, like, because Mercury deals with mental faculty. So it's like how we even start to accumulate logic and how we start to calculate things is firmly based off of that third house space, which is the surroundings. So understand that in real life, your surroundings is going to affect how you start to logically calculate things. And a lot of us find ourselves in locations and situations that the logic that we are forced to build is completely opposite to something that's actually beneficial to us. And so a lot of people don't take themselves in, and this is what I mean by taking your life serious. If you in an environment that you know ain't you can't even connect and get a grip on your own identity within, fuck is you still doing there? You can come up with all the excuses in the world, but what the fuck are you still doing there? Move. It's time to go. It's time to let go of things. And like, yeah, things don't happen overnight. Things take time, but you have to be aware first to then start taking action upon what it is that you are starting to notice. And a lot of us look at something and say, I know I need to get out of my environment, but X, Y, and Z. And you stop there. And it's like, nah, like I said before, no matter what the obstacle is, you got to pay attention to it. And this is what I was talking about with Saturn. Saturn, like I said, is older than the sun. What the grandparent is able to do is tap on the sun's shoulder, or tap on the sun's shoulder and point in a certain direction and say, and it's almost like Saturn be like, hey, this is going to be an issue. You got to address that. And like I'm talking in metaphor right now, so hopefully I'm not losing nobody. But like it's literally like, think about it like this: like if the Saturn energy, right, restrictions, boundaries, all these things that we find ourselves running from a lot of times, right? These things present themselves in our life to tap us on the shoulder and bring awareness to some shit that we need to address. Because if we don't address it, a multitude of different things can happen, right? I don't want to but Saturn-like things, like tower moments, where if you don't address it, everything that you've built is going to fall. That's basically it. Everything you've built is going to fall if you don't address this. So this is how Saturn, in a lot of ways, plays out energies of the sun. And I'm speaking like this because, like I said, for some reason, I'm like, I think Saturn either used to be the sun, and over time, and like this plays into like why like sun is opposite Saturn. Like for instance, like the sun is opposite Aquarius, and Aquarius is ruled by Leo is opposite of Aquarius. Leo rules the sun, and then Aquarius rules Saturn and things of that nature. Like kind of how Saturn is like Saturn is like silver, the sun is like gold. That relationship, you know what I'm saying? But it's like Saturn is only silver because it used to be gold. But then over time, just like how a parent, like when you go through life as a adult, you are theoretically at your prime as far as like that's your sun stage, your life stage. But then as you start to creep into your older age, you start to go into your fall period and then your winter period. And this is kind of what I mean. It's like the sun is the summer, Saturn is like the winter, Capricorn season, Aquarius season, etc. So it's like in a lot of ways, Saturn done been where the sun is. So a lot of times we fear the things that present themselves as restrictions within our life. But a lot of times, dude, you gotta embrace that shit because all Saturn is here to do is to point to redirect your attention in an area that's technically opposite than what you may want to pay attention to, but by paying attention to what Saturn is telling you to do, Saturn is almost like telling you the future. It's almost like telling you to address something for the future. Cause not like it'd be crazy how you go through life and it's like some shit that you choose to do in the present. Like it's I know y'all understand this. I know y'all understand this. Y'all experience this shit. It's like when synchronicities happen where you go through something and you like, oh damn, if I didn't go through X, Y, and Z, I wouldn't have been ready for the rest of the shit. If I didn't address A, B, and C, bruh, I would have never been able to overcome or get through the rest of the alphabet. That's what I mean. So in a lot of ways, it's like that's what I mean. Like even down to the astrology of it, and like you know what I'm saying, it ain't gotta be all centered around astrology. But I'm like astrology be one of the best tools to use because astrology is how is basically what everything was built off of. Like when we talk about religion, when we talk about because that was the energies. You know what I'm saying? Science and all that shit. So Saturn in a lot of ways be trying to tell you of the future. And a lot of times when you listen to Saturn the right way, you end up going through something, right? And handling some shit when you address Saturn. You address what Saturn's trying to bring to your attention and you actually get up and say, all right, I'm going to just do it. And you get through it and Saturn starts to test you and you go through these difficult moments and then all of a sudden those difficult restrictions start to become stepping stones that now you can uplift yourself and go even higher. And, let's not get lost on direction, but you going more forward towards. And a lot of times Saturn might even redirect you into a space where you're like, oh, damn, actually, this is way more lucrative than what I was actually paying attention to before. So it's like, in a lot of ways, Saturn be trying to put you on game, but Saturn done seen the future. And like I said, whether we talk in astrology or even in everyday life, like how your grandparent, right, before, like, you know what I'm saying? Before, it's like, and it really, like, it's like crazy because the grandparent be just telling the adult certain things to look out for in the future because they know. You know what I'm saying? And like, of course, I'm saying this in a, of course, I'm talking spiritually right now. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, like I always say, you gotta have discernment because, like, not everybody, not everybody is gonna have life changing advice for you. Not everybody is even gonna have anything to offer you as far as advice. A lot of us I have people around us that we've grown up with that just they was going through shit and they didn't know certain things, and we might be older than them, and we might be the ones that need to provide them with advice and shit like that. Like that's just like normal spiritual shit that happens. Like that's just. That's the beauty of life, in my opinion, because even that goes to show you that, like, there's nothing to be afraid of. And the only thing you can do is be yourself. Like, that's the only thing you can do. And, like, you shouldn't be hard on yourself about the things you don't know. Because the things that you don't know for a reason. And you're either going to learn it or it's going to prove itself to be something that you just didn't need to know. So to fear the unknown is pointless. To fear what might happen, it's good for damage control. It's good for, it's good to apply wisdom and shit like that. It's good to apply examples and things like, just so you know what other people have done. But never let what someone else do stop you from anything. You know what I'm saying? Don't. It's like even you know what I'm saying. Even down to parents will tell you don't do something. And even, look, grandparents, you know what I'm saying? People will tell you not to do something, but sometimes you do just gotta do it for yourself. And that comes further into individuality. And this is where, on a more personal tip, you gotta be aware of your own lessons. And this is what I was talking about. We all got our own themes that we constantly go through in life. Never lose sight of these themes, because these themes are gonna pop up. Even if you feel like you solved something, these themes will still present themselves to not only kind of test you, but also to present themselves to be something that you can actually teach to others. And this is where the whole point of life, I feel like, comes into play, where we're here to relate and to expand and to contract. Contracting is like, hermit mode, going within ourselves to redevelop certain things and get certain things straight. This is like when we go through situations and circumstances that are like we all go through certain times where it's just a little harder than most times. We all fall short and fall onto hard times. And those hard times be those contracting periods where we're kind of going back in on ourselves. And this is like the times where we do the most negative self-talk. We do the most self-doubt. We do the most just judging ourselves for not being not being in a certain position. We go die. This is when we dive the deepest within ourselves and might start even ridiculing ourselves, and like what people call depression and shit like that. That contraction, it's a depressing of ourselves, of our own soul. You know what I'm saying? And then the expansion, and all of these are uncomfortable, but become more comfortable. Have their moments where they're more comfortable and have the moments when they're more difficult. But the expansion is the opposite of that, where growing pains and going through new cycles and learning and teaching ourselves to do new things and pushing the shit forward. And one, we're learning lessons, we're getting downloads, and we're going through certain things and certain processes, and the other one, we're giving that off. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I mean by the purpose of life in general, is to go through these expansions and contractions and give off what we've learned and what we've been through. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why everybody wants to have a platform right now, because we all got a story and we all have themes, and our themes become, if you want to talk business, these themes become our niche, however you say that, or they become our lane, our brand. You know what I'm saying? Everyone wants to make music, but you know why everyone can make music? Because everyone has a unique perspective. And I do this a lot of times too, and this is something that I know y'all probably deal with too. Sometimes you can't be afraid to do something. It's like it's like you gotta stop looking at your shit like it has to reach some kind of golden standard. The things you create and things of that nature, you got to stop looking at it like there's some invisible golden standard that you must hit in order to feel confident in whatever you put out. Because it's not true. And that, I feel like, puts you in a certain competition with yourself that you don't need to be in. I feel like in this age, we got to stop being in competition with ourselves. I mean, it's good to be in competition with yourselves in terms of getting better, but it's like, make that shit a healthy competition, or change the word from competition into just, I don't know. Because a lot of times that self-competition, it starts to wear and tear in your mind to the where it turns you into a person who's always competing subconsciously. And it's good. That's not a bad mode of operation to be in. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, I speak from my life and my experience and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And like, I tap in, but at the end of the day, like, some people do need to be in competitive spirits. You know what I'm saying? They got some fire signs in this bitch. Y'all gotta be in competitive spirits. But what I mean is, don't let it wear and tear on the joy of creation. Don't let it wear and tear on the beauty of grabbing something deep within yourself and making something physical out of that. Don't let it take away from you getting out and actually just doing whatever the fuck you want to do. There was somebody, cause I know y'all, like, I remember I heard when niggas was doing them rap songs, but they voice was like super high and squeaky and shit like that. I mean, even shit like that. Like, somebody said, I'm just gonna make a joke in the booth, or like however it came about. I'm glad that exists. And that's the thing I be talking about. Don't be in such competition with yourself that you don't just get out and do some shit. Sometimes you just gotta get out and do some shit. Yell on the track. Don't even put a beat on it. Yell on the track and just make something out of that. Boop, beat, boop. I said boot box. Beatbox. Beatbox on some shit. You know what I'm saying? Beatbox on some shit and freestyle on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just do anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, I don't even know why. Well, I do know why I made this video, because I just kind of wanted to talk about that. Like, you know, just do whatever the fuck you want to do, man. Like, yo, this shit is it's like you gotta take your own spirit more seriously than we take life. And I mean external Magic Square life. They want you to be serious about that shit. They want you to worry about shit going on in the news. It's not to say don't worry about people, you know, but the shit that's going on in the news, look, they want you to give a fuck so much that you think that is real life, and it's not. Shit's a movie. If you don't know by now, just all the stupid shit that they done put us through, all the stupid shit that they done tried to present to us, all the stupid shit that they try to put in our ear. But if you a person like me, right, somebody who's spiritual enough to know better, and actually, instead of just watching something and digesting it as truth, go out and experience life for itself. If you a real spirit like that, you already know that that's just some shit that they got going on. And they trying to make serious for you. But you just need to be serious about yourself and your own life and the quality of your own experience. What's going on in your life? Are you living a quality experience? Like, are you satisfied with your experience right now? And if you are not, start taking those necessary steps to change some shit. And if you are, and even if you are, we always getting better. We always going through new shit. We always growing. Keep on growing and don't lose sight of whatever mission, purpose that you set for yourself. And don't let anything knock you off that. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. And real shit. Real shit. I just want to go over it. I'm about to take a walk, man. Today has been a great day. You know, the moon is in Virgo right now, so I guess I'm just getting real. You know, I'm getting real. Like, a lot of different things is happening, and you know, I feel somewhat rejuvenated. You know what I'm saying? Just as if I mean I've been doing my own little spiritual things just to get my own life in order. But really right now, man, right now is such a great time to get your shit together. And everybody is out doing new shit in that new Aries energy. Like, this Aries energy, I'm telling you, this shit is something else. So if you walking around moping, 9 times out of 10 it's because you know you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And if you and when I say moping, I'm not saying going through hard times, because I see y'all. Trust me, I'm with you. We all going through hard times, but the people going through hard times, it's like, I say that it's different than moping around, because the people going through hard times is working to change their life. And where we are now, we gonna look back in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, and be like, God damn, I done worked my motherfucking ass off, and I done put myself in a position to win. Because that's how I feel. I done seen the future. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, you know what I'm saying? And not even on no divinity shit. Is that the right word? That might not be the right. But yeah, divinity shit. I'm just saying, I astro traveled to that place, and I done seen results. And I didn't get lost there, but, you know, yeah, I don't even want to say no more after that. Real shit. So, you know, put it in the work. Put in the work. And remember, man, we the ones who make this shit run. Never forget that shit. Much love and more power to you. I'm going to be back on the next one. I'll see y'all.